Should be. There are over 130,000 pages of regulations. There's Part A through D, Medicare Advantage, and Medigap. According to the CMS, there are government programs available that can help you pay for your medical expenses. Choosing the right Medicare plan is a really big deal. The wrong choice can cost you a lot of money, and the right choice can put more money in your pocket. Call one of our licensed representatives today. At 65 Plus Medicare, our free service can show you a plan that will maximize your Medicare benefits, ensure you are taking advantage of all available government assistance programs, and save you money. Call now.
800-343-4379. 800-343-4379. 800-343-4379. That's 800-343-4379.
Not benefits listed may be available on all plans or in a single benefit package. Enrollment in the described plan type may be limited to certain times of the year unless you qualify for a special enrollment period. No obligation to enroll.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Sunday, April 19th, the 110th day of the year. IndyCar champ Al Unser Jr. has a birthday, and Sally Ride was named as NASA's first female astronaut on this day in 1982. There's something about hot red chili peppers that makes people live longer. That's where the evidence is pointing, at least. A recent study in Italy confirmed earlier studies indicating that people who consumed the hot peppers had a lower risk of dying from heart disease or stroke. While the mechanism at work isn't entirely clear, it's suspected that capsaicin, the compound that gives peppers their punch, may be the beneficial component. So consider adding some hot chili peppers to your garden this year. Even if they don't lengthen your life, they'll certainly spice it up a bit. There is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more online at almanac.com.
During a White House coronavirus update on Sunday, Vice President Mike Pence said that Rhode Island is one of the states in the country that appears to be past the peak of the pandemic. Now, Pence was including Rhode Island in the New York metro area when he made his statement. As of Sunday, Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo's position was that the state has not yet reached its virus peak. She said yesterday the antivirus measures that have been taken in the state will result in the peak not being nearly as high as it might have been.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. If your sink stinks.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel on ON 1240, WOON One Socket Radio.
On ON, AM, and FM. It's Monday morning. It's April 20th. Happy Patriots Day to all our friends up there in Massachusetts. I'm Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us this morning. Also with me today, Dave Richards is here. Good morning, Dave.
I think I'm here, yes.
All right, very good. And joining us on the phone, Kathy LaValle, owner of the Honey Shop. Good morning to you, Kathy.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us as well. And we're going to be talking with Kathy about what's going on at the Honey Shop. But first, our first segment sponsor of Coffee and is Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Menden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards and Kathy LaValle from the Honey Shop. Good morning to you, Kathy, once again. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. How are you today?
We're doing just great, way up here in the wilds of Massachusetts. So,
Kathy,
Yes.
speaking of awesome,
yeah.
speaking of awesome, she dominates the Woonsocket call today.
Oh, gosh.
Have you seen it, Kathy?
Seriously.
My husband just went and got it, so I'm glancing at it from a distance right now.
There's a picture right up above the fold in color, the Honey Shop, and there she is in almost like a three-point stance, handing a box of hand sanitizer, which she sells and that she makes there, to one of our Woonsocket police officers. And, of course, you can't tell it's Kathy because she's got the mask on, but she looks happy. And she's here. Take it, officer, but don't get too close. and then the mayor is there with her mask on, looking at the cameras. I hope she's smiling, but she seems to be overlooking the whole situation. That's not bad. Then below the fold is a big multi-page story from Russ Olivo. And there's a picture of you holding up a bottle of the hand sanitizer, which I have to tell you, Kathy, the fabulous Denise absolutely loved. I ran out and got it as soon as we got your message that you were selling it, and we put it in your ad, and we ran out and got that and some gloves and a mask. So, but that sanitizer she loves because of the lilac scent, very calming.
Yes, lavender.
Oh, I said lilac. I meant to say lavender. Right. I'm sorry. Yes.
But I do like lilac too.
You said lavender scent, right? It's really nice.
Yes.
Does
so
it come
there
in?
You are.
Kathy, does it come in any other scents besides lavender?
Yes, the last batch that we have right now is Thieves, which is a multi-essential oil that's highly antibacterial, antifungal, in addition to the 64% alcohol base. And we have another 1,300 bottles coming in at the end of this week. So.
Oh, that's good. Because, I read that you had a problem with the number of bottles. That you had the batch, but you can't just ladle it into people's hands when they come in the store. So you needed bottles for it. And I was saying to myself, well, we could empty this bottle and bring it back to you.
Yeah. Well, the Department of Health would probably frown upon that, just like they're not allowing bags into Stop and Shop. And, you have to have new bags. So you're not bringing something into an environment that could particularly be contaminated, even though it contains hand sanitizer. The rules.
I get your point.
Right?
I'm just trying to be helpful.
I appreciate that, and we were able to secure another 1,300 bottles, spray bottles, that are coming in at the end of this week. So we're good for a long time.
Good.
And I think that we're going to be in this for a long time because this pandemic is basically following measures of a bell curve. And so when we had our first case on March 1st, and the governor is predicting the apex to be on May 3rd, so if you look at the bell curve structure, that's a total of 64 days from onset to apex, the peak. And so the wind down would be an additional 64 days, unfortunately, from May 3rd, which would bring us to July 7th.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, then you're gonna be. I should point out to the audience too, and forgive me if I keep jumping in here. They're large bottles. They're not these little dinky ones that you used to get in the stores. They're large bottles. How many ounces are in that?
It's 4 ounces.
4 ounces. Well, It sure seems a lot. Take a look at the picture on the paper, and it fills your hand. It's not the little tiny bottle.
Yeah, we had people that purchased a bottle at the beginning of this in March, and they're still using that same bottle. So, I mean, you don't need a lot to be able to sanitize your hands.
Well, of course not, no.
But I wanted to I had a couple of people that had asked me questions. Someone who has, like, eczema, psoriasis on their hands, saying that they can't really use the hand sanitizer. Did we have any ideas that what they could possibly use, or if your hands are very compromised because you're putting this rubbing alcohol on your hands all the time. So one other idea that we do have is you may use a 3% solution of hydrogen peroxide, which is made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms, and that will kill the coronavirus. The only caveat is that you have to leave it on your hands until it totally dissipates into pure oxygen and water. But after that point, you could just kind of like take something and wash it off your hands.
Uh-huh. Yeah, hydrogen peroxide is it's strong stuff. You have to handle it with care.
It is, but it's an effective disinfectant. And for people who can't use an alcohol base on their hands, it's another option.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't dilute it. You'd have to use it as the straight 3% solution. Then another thing that I wanted to discuss, if it's okay with you, is I wanted to talk about masks.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about the different types of masks. And so basically, if you're using the blue medical mask, the 3-ply, I'm sure everybody, has an image in their mind of what that looks like. Or if you're looking at using a fabric mask or a scarf or, any kind of fabric over your face, those types of masks help flatten the curve in the sense that it blocks large particulate water molecules. So if you're wearing this mask and you sneeze or you cough, the large molecules are going to get trapped in that mask. However, the small particulate microns are going to pass through the fabric, and it's going to go through to other people. And other people that are wearing fabric masks, those microns can penetrate. So I want to point out to people that if they're wearing those kinds of masks, it's so important to stay the 6 feet away, because don't think that you're a superhero because you're wearing this mask. It is not going to protect you against the coronavirus. And the other thing is that the coronavirus can also enter our system by our eyes. So if your eyes are not protected, like if you have safety glasses that you can wear, that will give you better protection. Or if you have a shield, a face shield, which we're getting into the store maybe at the end of this week, it covers your whole face. So it's the microns that get blocked and those water molecules as well when somebody sneezes or coughs. Or some people just talk it and, you expel air that has some water molecules in them. So the best mask is either a KN95 or an N95. And those are filtered so that it collects the small particles. And basically, my suggestion would be that if you're going to use one of these masks with a face shield, that you have 8 of them. And I'm going to explain to you why. This virus can live on surfaces for up to 8 days. So if you, on day 1, wear the first mask, and then you put it into a bag labeled 1. The next day, you wear 2, put it into a bag labeled 2. And you continue on with that, and now you all have all of them by day 8, all in bags. On day 9, you're going to go back to 1, because that virus now should be dead, because it's been sitting there for 8 days. Because if you're wearing the same mask over and over and over, the virus that could attach to that mask, you're touching it when you're going to don the mask, and that bacteria is latent on that mask. So it's basically contaminated. You can spray it with sanitizer, but that doesn't mean that it's going to completely eradicate the virus that could be active on the mask.
Kathy, what do you think about people that are just wearing bandanas around their mouth and nose? Is that doing anything?
The only thing that would be doing is catching those large molecules when someone coughs or sneezes. But the rest of it will just pass right through the bandana onto whoever happens to be around. And if you liken the very small microns that come out, it's almost like a fog. If you picture like a fog, how it just kind of floats. It's just that you can't see it, but it's still there, and it kind of like just blankets an area, and that's why everyone is saying social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
This fog that gets released when somebody sneezes or coughs can only travel so far. So the distancing is important. But in my opinion, for me, if I'm wearing a mask, I want to wear something that's protecting me and my family and my children from this virus as well, not just something that's just flattening the curve. So that's my opinion. But those are the different kinds of masks, and the one that's an N95 is what surgeons use, and a KN95 is the same thing. It just happens to be a different origin of manufacturing.
Okay, Kathy's pretty familiar with all this because in a former life, you worked with infectious diseases?
In a former life, I was a healthcare administrator, and infection control was part of my responsibility. Independent living, a rehab center, a skilled nursing facility, and a long-term care area. So that I was responsible for all of it, and then I was also responsible for infection control as well. And I worked in healthcare for about 30 years.
Okay. Now, did you say you'll be getting more of those N95 masks in, or not?
So we have 100 KN95 masks coming in. We have 100 face shields coming in. We have the regular cloth masks because some people just want to wear that, which is fine. We have 100 of those coming in. They should be in by the end of this week. I'm saying should because a lot of times the orders are delayed, shipping, the demand is really high, but I do expect to have them in both of our stores very soon.
Okay, we're going to take our first break on the Coffee and program right now. Kathy LaValle is with us. Any comments or questions for her can be called in, 766-1240, or email them in to me, joe@woonsocketradio.com. This first segment of Coffee and has been sponsored by Windermere Woods.
Windermere Woods, located at 1044 Menden Road in Woonsocket. Windermere Woods, 401-762-4226, and also on the web at windermerewoods.com. Live at Windermere Woods in a nice atmosphere that provides caring, security, and comfort. Once you move in, you'll want to stay at Windermere Woods for many years and be happy. It's a comfortable place to live and meet new people, enjoy regular meals, and get peace of mind. Windermere Woods is a small community with a nice, friendly atmosphere, and Windermere Woods is affordable. Windermere Woods offers such programs as housekeeping services, transportation to doctor's appointments, and to shopping. Windermere Woods is a very secure facility, 24/7 staffing. Someone's there day and night. They provide social entertainment activities and invite you to come by and visit. Windermere Woods, 1044 Menden Road, Woonsocket, 401-762-4226. Windermere Woods.
At Menard Lockature Funeral Home, we focus on partnering with you to plan a loving remembrance for those we've lost. At any venue of your choice, whether a church or our home, whatever your preference, whether for burial or cremation, planning a loving remembrance with a personal touch is our mission. Special music, a dove or balloon release, even a motorcycle escort, anything that you deem appropriate can be a part of your loving tribute. Menard Lockature Funeral Homes, Woonsocket and Manville.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Rhode Island Army National Guard. Aired by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association and this station.
These days, we all probably know of a local business that is struggling to adapt to the current realities. Here's a small way that you can help.
Announcing the Gift Card Challenge.
If you're able, think of your favorite local business and then buy a gift card today.
Buy it online or pledge to buy one as soon as you can.
Every little bit will help.
Restaurants have takeout or delivery. Many businesses have online shopping options.
Participate in the Gift Card Challenge today.
Buy a gift card.
Any amount and show your support for our local businesses in this time of need.
Keep it for yourself to use at a later date or pass it along to someone you know that's on the front lines doing what they can to keep us all safe.
Make the pledge and buy a gift card today.
Participate in the Gift Card Challenge.
Post and tag the business you selected on social media and challenge your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Working together, one card at a time, we can all make a difference.
One of our favorite local businesses is Belo's Flowers, 665 Diamond Hill Road, Woonsocket. Stop in to purchase a gift certificate today. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Right now, my name's Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards. Kathy LaValle, owner of the Honey Shop, is with us on the phone. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning.
Is Kathy there?
Kathy's right there.
All right, very good. We also asked Kathy to come on because she's been posting a lot of what she likes to call helpful hints on her Facebook page. And they might be these hints that you wouldn't think of doing in your daily day-to-day life right now, but things you should be doing. And I was reading some of them, Kathy, and what people may not know or what they should be doing is simple things like washing all produce, even the ones where you don't eat the skin. People should be washing like oranges, correct?
So what I tell people is, if you think about going to the market and you're going into the produce aisle, and think about it even before any of this coronavirus, everyone touches at least 3 oranges before they pick the right one, or they squeeze 4 melons, right? Mm-hmm. So people are touching the produce with either gloves or with their hands, and it's not just one person, it's everybody who's buying avocados is touching them to see how they are. So basically, if you can buy produce in a bag, it's pre-bagged, even though that bag may have been handled, but at least not every single piece of fruit inside has been handled by everyone passing through the store. The other thing is that if it has a skin and you just cut it without washing it, when you put the knife through it, you're taking bacteria, virus, whatever, and you're carrying it through into the fruit, basically. So you do want, they say water and friction will take it off, but I'll use like a gentle soap and really wash it good. And then, when you wash it off, it's just like washing your hands. That soap residue goes off of the produce, and you're taking that virus and you're kind of flushing it off.
Kathy, that's interesting you say that. I stopped buying a lot of vegetables and fruits, especially fruits, that we might have bought before all this. And the thing that comes into my mind most strongly is grapes. I don't know what happened. When I was a kid, if you opened up a package, you bought it. But people are always opening up a package of grapes and reaching in there and trying the grapes to see if they're sour or whatever.
Or taking some out because they don't want that many. And the same thing with sting cherries. They do the same thing. So, yes, that's a very good point. That's a produce that I would probably pass on.
We were buying celery this weekend, Kathy, and I wouldn't buy the ones that had the open-ended packages.
Smart. That's just smart because people are handling those items. But if it's a closed bag, at least it's coming from the manufacturer, and it's not like the last 30 people that went through the produce aisle grabbed that and touched it and put it back down. Yeah.
Kathy, I have a note that was called in. and from the audience here at the radio station, and it says they were told that a pillowcase folded over several times and washed with bleach and detergent is good enough, and you don't have to buy a mask.
So the washing every day with bleach and detergent would definitely sanitize that pillowcase. The problem with the pillowcase is that it's fabric, and it doesn't have any particulate filters inside. So, again, it's going to catch those big molecules on both sides, whether you're coughing or someone's coughing next to you. But the smaller microns will penetrate that.
I understand that, Kathy, and I think maybe I could elaborate on that a little bit for the audience. What they're not getting is that when you have it over your face, you're drawing air through it. And that forces the air and whatever's in the air to pass in between all the little fibers.
Yeah.
And they're coming through the fabric under force and are more likely to pass through and not protect. Did I have that right?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. But with the KN95 or the 95 mask, what happens is there's a filter. So if you talk to someone who has mask on, you'll see when they're breathing in, the mask comes in towards their face.
Yes.
So they're pulling air in from the environment. And because there's not that safeguard of a filter in place to stop the smaller particulate from going through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically why you need that filter to really protect yourself. Now, the face mask will block any direct large water molecules or microns. And the nice thing about that is you can just use a spray sanitizer on the outside to clean it.
Like the one you're selling?
Yes, we have those coming in. I pray. I pray they'll be in by the end of this week. But they will be in very soon. That's for sure. Very, very soon.
All right. And Kathy, getting back to your helpful hints that you have on your Facebook page, one of the other ones was how should people deal with their incoming mail?
So mail is an issue. So because you have to think that the mail first is handled by many people, and all of our mail is processed in Providence, and then it comes here. And Providence is a hot spot in Rhode Island. It's the hot spot right now in Rhode Island. So, and then on top of that, it comes to Woonsocket, gets sorted, and then now your post office person is touching it, and it can survive, this virus can survive 2 to 3 days on paper. That's at least preliminarily what people believe. So when you go out to the mailbox, you can handle that in a couple of different ways. I heard a doctor that was talking, and they had a question. Someone said, what if I microwave my mail? And the doctor said, well, that's interesting because what happens is the microwave irradiates things. So it has radiation, so that would kill the virus. But people would need to, not put it in for 10 minutes and burn their house down, so a minute or whatever in the microwave. Or you could collect the mail with one hand. So keep in mind that you have a clean hand and a dirty hand. The dirty hand gets the mail. The clean hand opens your doorknob. You come in the house. You go over the trash can. You open all the mail, throw all the paper away, and then you would put, with your clean hand, whatever you take out of the envelope onto the table, and then go wash your hands. But I just come in, put it into the microwave. I let it go in the microwave for a minute. Even the plastic windows, they're fine. They get a little crinkly, but they're clean. And then you take it out. You can open your mail and proceed that way. But like I said, you want to make sure, because the strengths of different microwaves may vary. And, we certainly don't want anyone catching their house on fire because they're, putting their
to say nothing
mail
of
in.
making their mail crispy and hard to read.
Well, it curls a little bit, but it flattens back out.
All righty. Hey, Kathy, we're coming down to the end of the segment over here, and I had another note. It asks us to ask you to please give the telephone number at the Honey Shop.
Sure, I'll do that. So the one on Park Avenue is 766-1488, and the one on Winthrop Street is 597-6885. And I'd like to just offer one other tip. People might want to consider, when they go grocery shopping, to get a little bit of extra meat to put in their freezer, because some of the meat packing companies have been closed, so the odds are that meat may become a little bit more expensive and perhaps a little bit more scarce.
You're being very nice about it. I saw a hamburger at more than $6 a pound.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, but it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse as the apex, because you've got to think every state has its own timeline.
Right.
So, our apex is May 3rd, but this is going to go on for us until well into July or even longer. And in the other states, they may be just commencing. So, it's just like a little, not that I'm asking people to go hoard, I'm just saying.
Oh, no, you didn't say that.
No, have a little insurance policy for yourself in your freezer. That's all I'm saying.
Very good. Kathy, thanks for being with us today. Congratulations on your success so far. Good luck on getting all your supplies in so you can put your product out on the shelves so everybody can buy it. We remind everybody they have to wear a mask here in Rhode Island. And you closed down Bellingham, right? Because going back and forth between Massachusetts and Rhode Island was going to be a real bother.
Yeah, well, it was really more that store had not even been open for a year yet, and the individual that was working there could no longer work.
Oh. And you couldn't cover it because going back and forth over state lines is problematic.
Right.
So Bellingham is shut down, but the two in Woonsocket are open on Winthrop Street at the corner of Elm Street and almost Park Square, virtually Park Square. What are they calling it? Are they calling that Fernie? No, that's still Park Avenue, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Although Fournier Street is right in front of you, it's still Park Avenue with the mailing address.
Strange, but yes, it is Park Ave.
Okay. Well, that's great. And so thanks for being with us today, and congratulations on all your successes. And we pray for you to be strong and healthy and continue helping people out. And thanks so much for donation of those spray bottles of sanitizer to the police department, which was the reason for the article on the newspaper anyway. So we really appreciate that. Thanks.
And thank you, and everybody please be safe and take care.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. All right, we're going to take a break in the Coffee and program, and we're coming right back.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. What types of insurance do you provide?
If you come see me, Kara, I will help you review and protect the most important assets in your life. We offer protection for personal lines and business lines of insurance in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. My mother, Celeste, will help you plan for retirement and assist you with protecting your family by providing life insurance.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
Because of the coronavirus, in-store shopping has been suspended at Wright's Dairy Farm until further notice. However, milk, cream, eggs, bread, cakes, and more than 70 of your favorite bakery items are still available every day at Wright's Dairy Farm through their no-contact curbside pickup. There are now 2 ways to order your items at Wright's Dairy Farm. Have your credit card ready and call them at 401-767-3014, extension 4, 401-767-3014, extension 4, or go online to wrightsdairyfarm.com. You choose the day and time that you want to pick up your order. When you arrive to Wright's Dairy Farm, follow the signage and instructions given. Stay in your vehicle, and your order will be brought out to you. Wright's Dairy Farm is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wright's Dairy Farm thanks you for your support and patience during this time. Hi, Parrot Heads. This is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' in the Tiki Bar every Tuesday night from 6 to 7. 1 full hour of nothing but Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by attorney Bob Lauder and by the Carew Investment Group.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
Sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's going to be a cloudy day today with a high temperature near 54. Tonight, mostly cloudy during the early evening. Then we'll have some gradual clearing. Low around 33. Tuesday looks like another stormy day. Chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm after 2 in the afternoon. Some of the storms could produce small hail, gusty winds, and heavy rain. High temperature tomorrow near 58. Wind gusts as high as 33 miles per hour. Tuesday night, chance of showers before 8 p.m. Mostly cloudy to start, then gradually becoming mostly clear Tuesday night. Low of 31. Wednesday, sunny, high near 47. Thursday, partly sunny, and high near 55. And currently, outside the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. Dave, what temperature do we have?
Right now, it's 49 degrees, Joe.
Thank you. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and auto insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Woonsocket Call newspaper, together with sponsors Pool Pro and Spa and Superior Granite, publish a community calendar daily in the Call. This is a list of event happenings throughout our communities over the next 4 weeks. If you'd like to submit an event, all you have to do is email your event details to notices@woonsocketcall.com. That's notices@woonsocketcall.com, or phone them at 767-8550. To subscribe to the Call, call us today at 767-8522. The Call.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, and we're being joined on the phone right now from Landmark Medical Center, Dr. Matthew Saracen. Good evening. Good morning to you, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining us this morning. And you're an ED medical director?
That's correct. I'm an ED, the medical director of the emergency department, and I'm also one of the attending physicians in the emergency department.
I'm glad he cleared that up, Joe. I thought he was talking about that other ED they talk about on the TV channels.
I was not concerned, but I
saw that in my notes, and I says, how am I going to talk to the guy about this?
Very delicately. But anyway, and it was funny because I was thinking the other thing, too, and they said, well, the doctor wants to clear up a few things. I'm like, okay, I don't know what he wants to clear up, but let's find out. So as part of the emergency department, what information did you want to pass along right away, Doctor?
Well, the biggest thing is with the coronavirus, we have a lot of people who are afraid to come to the emergency department or come to the hospital right now. So we want to encourage people who are having medical emergencies to not be afraid. We're using appropriate personal protective equipment, and we've been having people who are having heart attacks, strokes, and other serious medical conditions who have been delaying their care by hours or even days and ending up with permanent disability or even death because they've delayed their care. So we want to encourage people that if they think they're having a serious medical emergency, not wait, don't delay. You're going to be safe, and we want you to come in and get checked out.
All right. We do have a message for the doctor that's been written into me, so I'm going to pass this along to you right now. According to this writer, doctor, I was directed to go to the ER at Landmark Medical Center recently by my primary care physician for a potentially serious issue that was non-virus related. After testing and treatment, I was eventually released. During that time, a battery of blood work was taken, and I was wondering if they also checked for the COVID-19 virus. I never asked, and I wasn't told. Is it standard testing now for all persons who are patients in the emergency room?
So right now, because of the shortage of tests in the state and the country, we're only testing people who are sick enough to be admitted or healthcare workers from the emergency department. For people who are stable enough to be discharged home, we're referring those people to either the testing site through CVS at Twin River in Lincoln, or through their primary care doctor, where they can get tested through one of the state testing sites.
Okay. If someone came into the emergency department for something non-virus related, and they asked to be tested for the COVID-19, would Landmark do it at this time?
If it's non-virus related, no. We were only testing people who are sick enough to be admitted to the hospital with the COVID test based on the number of tests that we have available to us.
Okay. Are you seeing more or less people coming into the ER at this time since the COVID-19 pandemic started?
Since the COVID-19 pandemic started, Landmark, along with most of the emergency departments across the state, actually are seeing fewer patients across the board. The patients who are coming in tend to be sicker, but across the board, our volume is down. So, and that's the case across most of the state.
And you think are people just scared to go to the hospital because they think they might pick up the virus?
I think that's a big part of it. I think that people are scared. I think that a lot of people who generally use the emergency department for urgent care kind of issues as well. Those are the people we're not seeing. People are, and we're also not seeing, because of social distancing, we're also not seeing a lot of car accidents. We're not seeing a lot of people who are out tripping and falling or getting lacerations because people are staying at home. So some of that stuff, and because people are staying at home, some of the other illnesses that people would get, like flu, the flu season went from us seeing a lot of flu to us seeing almost very little flu almost overnight because of the social distancing as well. So overall, it's a combination of fear and a combination of people doing good social distancing that's keeping our volume down.
Okay. We're talking with Dr. Matthew Sarensen. He is the Emergency Department Medical Director at Landmark Medical Center. Doctor, do the nurses at Landmark, do they just do a rotation where they might be in the emergency department one day, but then the next day they're dealing with COVID-19 patients, or have they been separated?
So our emergency department nurses and physicians are dedicated to the emergency department, so that's their primary role. So in the emergency department, we see all things. So we'll see heart attacks, strokes, and patients with COVID-19. But when we do go into a room with a patient with known or suspected COVID-19, we're using personal protective equipment, including masks, face shields, and gowns, to ensure that we're not passing it from patients with COVID-19 to patients who may not have COVID-19.
Okay. When people come into the emergency department, are they automatically given masks to wear by the staff?
So any patient who's coming into the emergency department who may have symptoms that may be COVID-19, whether that's cough, fever, shortness of breath, sore throat, or if they're a known contact of somebody with a COVID-19, they are immediately provided a mask before they're even allowed to enter the building, and then they're screened appropriately.
Okay. Dave, I don't want to hog the whole thing here. Do you have anything?
Oh, no, you're doing a fine job, Joe.
Thank you.
Seem to have prepared quite a number of questions. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Well, seriously, obviously, when people come into the emergency department, I was always brought up not to go there unless you better see a doctor really fast. Something can't stop bleeding, you have to, broken bone or something like that. So I come from an era where we wouldn't come in just because we had a bad case of the flu or something like that. It's something that's clearly out of our control. So, but ambulance cases now, if you get brought in by an ambulance, they're already screening you. They're already treating you as if you might be a potential carrier of the disease. When they get to the emergency room, or the emergency department, as you call it now, what differs from someone who comes in from the ambulance or somebody who just stumbles in from outside?
Well, there's really no difference. The process is essentially the same. You come into whether you come in by ambulance or you come in through the walk-in area, the first person to see you is a nurse who's doing something called a triage, where they're assessing how sick you potentially are, so that way the physician assistant, or nurse practitioner will go to see the sickest patients first, and then the patients who may be a little bit less sick next.
And let me interrupt there, Doctor, and I just point out for our audience that that's a big difference from years ago. Years ago, you came in, you sat down, you went to see somebody. You could be sitting there for an hour, who knows, depending how busy everybody is there, because you're going to give every patient in front of you the best treatment that you can give them. So it's necessary that sometimes people wait. But now, before you even get to sit down, somebody's sizing you up for how important it is we get to you quickly. And there's a difference, isn't that?
It's true, and the most important thing is, sometimes it's almost a little bit better to wait, because potentially that means you're not quite as sick as the person in front of you.
Yeah, that's true.
But kidding aside, we actually at Landmark have some of the best door-to-provider times in the state, which means from the time you get through the door to the time you see a doctor or physician assistant or nurse practitioner, we have some of the shortest wait times in the state right now. So that's a little humble brag for us.
Yeah, and you should take a bow when you have those kinds of numbers too, because I'm sure the state monitors those things at all the different hospitals. I know each time I've come in, and it's only been a few times in the last decade, thank goodness, but each time I've come in, it's like, all right, you're right there. You're important. Put him in the room over here. We're going to see him right away. Yeah, because I usually don't go in for nothing,
Right, well, and that's good. But, like I said initially, my big concern is people, because of the fear of going to a hospital where there are people that may have COVID disease or coronavirus disease, that people are afraid that they're going to catch it. And we have had people who have waited a little bit too long, stroke patients who may now be permanently disabled because they waited and they were not eligible for the clot-busting drug. So, again, the biggest message I want to get out is, if you think you're having a heart attack, if suddenly you're having trouble speaking or you're weak on one side, you're having trouble breathing, please come to the emergency department. It's a safe place to come, and we're here to help you.
And I might add also, if you are suffering an infection that's not responding to your home treatment, days can count.
Absolutely.
Very good. Hey, Doctor, thank you very much for the reminder. We'll remind everybody throughout the day as well that if they're not feeling well, that Landmark is probably one of the safer places to go during the day. I mean, if you we were just talking about what goes on at supermarkets and stuff like that, the marketplace with Kathy before you came on with us, and when you stop and size them all up, I'd feel a lot safer in the emergency department at Landmark, where everybody's got the masks and gloves and everybody's thinking about not communicating viruses, as opposed to your common area out there in the world. So I think you guys are probably a safer place to go.
And I appreciate your help getting the message out. We really want to we're really trying to be the community hospital for all of Northern Rhode Island, and we want to make sure that everybody is safe. So thank you. I appreciate your help.
Very welcome. Thanks for your time today, Doctor.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is Dr. Matthew Sarenson, Emergency Department Medical Director. Thanks for joining us. And this segment of the Coffee Inn has been sponsored by The Call newspaper.
The Call is proud to announce a new and improved daily classified advertising program for our newspaper readers, subscribers, and advertisers. Blackstone Valley Values is a more affordable local buying and selling marketplace every day of the week. Lost and found, apartment rentals, items for sale, homes for sale or rent, and even job listings will now be even more within your reach. As always, if you have something you want to sell, call us today with your ad, and it'll appear in the next day's call. Be sure to contact us, though, before the 3 p.m. deadline. Furthermore, if you're a subscriber to The Call, you'll benefit from value member discounts and possibly some free advertisements with this new program offer. The Call continues to be dedicated to you, as we have been for over 120 years. Call us today and learn more about our new classified program at 767-8503. To subscribe to The Call and become a valued member, call today, 767-8522.
People ask what PACE is. Well, PACE is a different kind of health plan. There's really nothing like it. Because PACE was created to give older people with health challenges the care and support they need to keep living at home. If you have a parent who wants to remain independent and live at home, but needs help to do so, call 401-654-4176 or visit pace-ri.org and see what a difference PACE can make in both of your lives.
These days, we all probably know of a local business that is struggling to adapt to the current realities. Here's a small way that you can help.
Announcing the Gift Card Challenge.
If you're able, think of your favorite local business and then buy a gift card today.
Buy it online or pledge to buy one as soon as you can.
Every little bit will help.
Restaurants have takeout or delivery. Many businesses have online shopping options.
Participate in the gift card challenge today.
Buy a gift card.
Any amount and show your support for our local businesses in this time of need.
Keep it for yourself to use at a later date or pass it along to someone you know that's on the front lines doing what they can to keep us all safe.
Make the pledge and buy a gift card today.
Participate in the gift card challenge.
Post and tag the business you selected on social media and challenge your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Working together, one card at a time, we can all make a difference.
One of our favorite local businesses is Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street, Woonsocket. Stop in today to purchase a gift certificate from Missy's Family Restaurant today. And it's Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards now. Doctor had to get going. And so, Dave, we have a message that I wanted to bring up now. Are you listening?
No, I'm listening over here.
Okay. Well, the writer writes in and says, now that it is mandatory to wear masks when entering a retail store in Rhode Island, it should also be mandatory for the state or federal government to supply them. Instead, retail stores are buying them at a wholesale price and selling them for profit. I find this disgusting and, yes, pathetic. Some people can't afford to buy them. The government is forcing us to wear them, so they should supply them. Okay. Interesting way of looking at it.
Where do you want to go with that one, Joe? It's somebody's opinion, and I understand that. We respect the fact it's their opinion. I'm not so sure how much I agree or disagree with it. I mean, they make a good point. The point is fine. I don't mind having to buy protective things for myself, but they got to be available.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into a huge national pharmacy store. Oh, no, we haven't had any of that stuff in weeks.
Yeah.
And yet
right.
the governor is saying you got to wear them.
You got to wear it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I resent. You want to, so I'll meet that caller, that writer, halfway, and say, I believe the government should make them available to us, but not necessarily at no cost.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got to cost something in the first place. So before you pass a rule, before you pronounce an edict that you can't go into a store and face somebody unless they're wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask, and which they did last week, and it was effective Saturday. When you go and do that, you got to figure there's got to be masks. Well, otherwise, you've just passed the rule that no one can follow.
But didn't the governor of Rhode Island say that businesses should be offering masks or face coverings of some sort to the people that come in? Or was that maybe that was Massachusetts?
Yeah, I don't remember that from Gina. Okay. I don't remember that from her. She could have said it. I don't. My day does not allow me to sit there and watch her briefings all the time.
Every day, yeah.
Right, because of the work that has to be done. Because Denise and I are the only ones working here in the building. So you understand it that I'm running the board for all the shows, and that I got the other body of work I have to do on top of everything. Yeah, it's not possible for me to sit there and do that. And then sometimes there's a webinar. And I try to limit my webinars, but there's a webinar going on the same time as all that. So I don't get a chance to see all of it. I usually get the Reader's Digest version.
I think and the caller's a little upset that now that it's mandatory, and that all these stores that do get them in, like he said, he's going to buy them for, let's say, $1 a piece and sell them for $5 a piece. And so they're going to make a nifty profit.
Well, there may be some of that, but you're living in America, and that is generally allowed so long as it's not price gouging. And it becomes sometimes an opinion on what's price gouging. We saw, I think I could say this without getting sued, we saw evidence of a tent at Park Square that was put up where someone was selling masks for, I forget how many was in the bundle, $25.
All right.
For masks. And this is a couple of weeks ago. And they were set up in a parking lot at Park Square.
Could you get your
what's
with
that?
the mask? Could you get your fireworks with the masks too?
Yeah, I see what you're saying,
See?
but
Setup?
no, this was serious, and we checked into it because a listener got a hold of us and said, "Dave, is this legal?"
Right. Okay.
And I said, "Well, unless they have a license to make sales out like that at retail from the town of North Smithfield, it's not legal. They have to go to town hall and get a license to do that stuff." So we checked, of course, with Gary Azofsky right away. And he says, "I don't remember anybody pulling a license for that." So I says, "Well, here's the situation. This is the evidence we have. This is the caller who told us about it." And he says, "Let me check into it." And turns out that the people who were doing it actually had a vendor's permit that had not expired that was taken out at the town sometime earlier. So they had a valid permit to do it.
Okay.
But no one had actually gone in and got one for that, so he originally was caught off guard. But, of course, he did his homework. Gary's that kind of guy. And then it turned out that it was legal. But then I also said, $25 for masks? Yikes. I don't think I could patronize a place like that, no matter how much I needed one. And next thing I know, the next day, they're not there.
Yeah. Maybe they sold out.
Well, maybe they did. I don't know.
They didn't sell
I don't
any.
wish anybody any bad luck, but it sounded to me that if that wasn't price gouging, I don't know I understand the definition.
Okay. Just wanted to bring this up, Dave. Today is Patriots Day in Massachusetts. It's actually a state holiday. And today was also supposed to be the running of the Boston Marathon.
Right.
All the Boston Marathon officials and Massachusetts State Police and everybody basically involved said, please don't come out and run the marathon. But guess what? People are doing.
Well, there's training involved.
That's right.
And even if they're going to do that, I've known a lot of runners in the Boston Marathon. I've even entered it. I didn't finish. But when I was very, very young. And then, of course, I broadcast it back when nobody was broadcasting it. We would go out there and on the telephone pole there at the green, we'd put up a telephone line, and I would do some broadcasting at the start of the marathon. And, of course, I couldn't be there at the end, but then again, a few people would show up at the end and broadcast that. But that Hopkinton to Back Bay broadcast had not developed yet. We're talking back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I've been pretty close to what's going on with the Boston Marathon. I felt close to it, and I do know because we've had staff members here at the station who actually ran it and completed it, that you are for months working your body up to being able to do it, and then you go do it. But you have to qualify by appearing in other marathons before that. And there's one thing about the human body. You can stress it like that and stress it like that, but if you do not continue to train and stress it, it falls out of trim for that. And so I can understand that if I was going to be running the Boston Marathon today and they canceled it, I might just want to go out and run the course anyway.
But the officials are worried, those people that maybe aren't fully trained for it, and they're going to fall, they're going to stumble, they're going to hurt themselves.
They're fools.
And there's no medical people out there. And now you're going to call medical people out there that could be doing something else. And so, of course, it's not going to be a huge crowd like they normally have, but there are people running the marathon.
Well, the runners will have to do what they don't normally do, and that's carry a cell phone.
Normally
a runner doesn't carry a cell phone.
No. And water. They don't carry water.
Yeah. So they may have some support personnel to come along and follow them in a car or something like that. But I mean, they could do that on some other day other than today, except that there is the timing of days, and they have a cycle, and what they eat, and all the rest of the people don't realize. I mean, they take enormous amounts of carbs a few days before they go out and do this, like big plates of spaghetti. Jim would tell me that he would eat beforehand because he needed that long-term energy to burn off in the last part of the race. Does any of that help?
Oh, sure. But just letting you know, they're not happy with the people that are running the marathon today.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of unhappiness in the world, Joe.
Yes, there is.
Boston Mayor Marty Walsh was so ticked off yesterday. He told the cops, go out and get a truck with a speaker on it and go around to the neighborhoods telling everybody to go inside and knock it off.
Yeah.
He was particularly unhappy yesterday.
All right. Yeah.
But it was a nice day.
It was a nice day yesterday.
Yeah.
Very
and
nice.
you know, and I gotta tell you, there's this fine line, and this addresses a couple of other topics that we could be talking about. There's a fine line when you learn the art of leadership, where you are no longer a leader because people aren't following you for whatever reason they have. If you make the rules too strict, if you make it impossible for them to comply, you're going to find that. And I was reading a book about World War II during the blackouts and the Blitz in London, where lawlessness actually became tolerated because your person down the street that you knew and loved, an uncle or an aunt or something like that, couldn't possibly comply with all the rules that they had because they couldn't do it. And so they were. There was just breaking of the rules, and so it's a fine line between leadership and not being a leader anymore because you took it too seriously. And so, I'm sure that our president struggles with this all the time, and in some cases, some of the governors are doing it. It's not that they're being mean. I absolutely do not believe for a second that Gina Raimondo is being mean at all. She is trying to protect lives. She's trying to think of every possibility and protect us from it. Well, that's impossible. But she takes the leap and tries anyway. Did she go too far? Maybe she did in some things. Did she go not far enough in some other things? There's always room to criticize. When you're the lonely person who makes the final decisions, I have pity on you. I pray for you. Do your best, and I'll forgive the mistakes.
All right, we're coming to the end of the program, so we thank you very much for listening in. Thanks to Kathy LaValle, owner of the Honey Shop, who joined us earlier today. And we also thank Dr. Matthew Sarenson,